The elevator shuddered before stopping with a violent jolt.
The sudden silence, broken only by the soft hum of machinery, settled heavily in the air.
Elena Ramirez froze, clutching the metal handrail with trembling fingers. Her dark brown eyes darted toward the glowing red numbers above the door. Tead frozen. Onte number siete. Dios mío, she whispered, her accent thick, betraying both fear and frustration. Beside her stood Daniel, a fresh-faced intern barely 20 years old, clutching his laptop bag to his chest. He had only been working at the firm for a week, still trying to memorize everyone's names. He glanced at Elena nervously. I think it just stopped, he said, as if stating the obvious might somehow help. Elena pressed her palm against her chest, breathing unevenly. No, no, no! This cannot be happening! Her voice quivered, and Daniel noticed how her knuckles whitened as she gripped the rail. You okay? He asked cautiously. I hate elevators. I hate closed spaces. I can't! She cut herself off, her breath coming in short gasps. I knew I should have taken the stairs today. Daniel had never seen someone so visibly shaken. He swallowed, unsure of what to do. Okay, it's probably temporary. They'll fix it soon? Do you want me to press the emergency buttons? She nodded quickly, her long dark hair bouncing over her shoulders. Daniel pressed it, and a crackling voice answered, assuring them that maintenance was on its way. 10, maybe 15 minutes. For Elena, 15 minutes in a steel box might as well have been an eternity. She slid down the wall into a crouch, her arms wrapping around herself. Daniel lowered himself to sit across from her, trying not to stare. She was beautiful, even now, her caramel-toned skin glowing under the dim light, her red lipstick slightly She had the elegance of a woman in her late 20s, who carried herself with quiet confidence except right now. That confidence was shattered. I'm sorry, she murmured, not meeting his eyes. I shouldn't be freaking out like this. I've had this fear since I was a little girl. Daniel tilted his head, curious. What happened? She hesitated before answering. When I was 7, I got trapped in an elevator with my cousin. We were stuck for hours. No air, no light. I could hear her crying in the dark. Her voice cracked. Ever since then, elevators feel like cages. Daniel softened. That sounds awful. Elena's lips curved in a shaky smile. And now, here I am again. Stuck with the intern who probably thinks I am some crazy senora. He chuckled gently. You're not crazy. Honestly, I think it's kind of brave. You still use elevators, even though they scare you. That's stronger than avoiding them altogether. She blinked at him, surprised. You think so? Yeah. He shrugged. If I had a fear that bad, I'd probably just live on the ground floor forever. Elena laughed a real laugh, light and melodic. The sound surprised both of them, cutting through the tension. The silence after was different, less suffocating, more intimate. Daniel leaned his head back against the wall, studying her. He noticed the way her chest rose and fell more steadily now, her breaths calming as she focused on him. You're surprisingly mature for 20, she said, her eyes narrowing with curiosity. He smirked. And you, surprisingly honest for a secretary who everyone says is impossible to impress. Her eyebrows shot up. People say that, only in whispers, he admitted with a grin. You walk past and half the office straightens their posture. I think they're scared of you. She shook her head, smiling faintly. Good. Let them be. It makes my job easier. Then her expression softened. But you're not scared of me. Daniel hesitated, meeting her gaze. Not scared. Maybe. Intrigued. The word hung between them, heavier than the stale air. Elena shifted, suddenly hyper-aware of how close they were, knees almost touching in the small space. She looked away, her pulse quickening again, not from fear this time, but from something she didn't want to name. Careful. Niño, se Said. Teasingly, though her voice had lost its steadiness. Words like that can be dangerous. Daniel leaned forward just slightly, his tone gentler now. Maybe I like dangerous. Her breath caught. The elevator seemed to shrink around them, the fluorescent light buzzing above like it was in on their secret. For a moment, Elena forgot her fear, her claustrophobia melting into something warmer, something forbidden. She looked at him fully then, really seeing him the youthful confidence, the sincerity in his eyes, the way he wasn't backing down. Even though she was older, more experienced, and very much his superior in the workplace hierarchy. "You shouldn't look at me like that," she whispered. "Like what? Like..." She faltered, then sighed. "Like you want me." He didn't blink.
Maybe because I do. Her heart thumped against her ribcage.
She should have stopped it there. She should have reminded him of professionalism, of boundaries, of all the reasons this was wrong. But trapped in the quiet bubble of the elevator, her rules seemed flimsy, her walls paper-thin. "Daniel," she murmured, his name lingering on her tongue like a secret. Before she could think, before she could talk herself out of it, his hand brushed against hers. Tentative at first, then firmer when she didn't pull away. Her skin tingled where they touched, a spark rushing up her arm. For a moment, everything was still: the fear, the office politics, the outside world. There was only the hum of the elevator and the undeniable electricity between them. Elena closed her eyes, letting herself breathe him in. He smelled faintly of cedarwood cologne, fresh and clean, mixed with the nervous excitement of someone daring to step across a line. The elevator shuddered again, pulling both of them back to reality. The lights flickered, then steadied. They both knew what it meant: the ride was about to continue. Elena's hand lingered in his, reluctant to let go. She opened her eyes, meeting his again. This time, she didn't look away. "You'll keep this between us?" she said softly, not as a question, but as a demand. His lips curved into a small smile. "Of course!" The elevator dinged, and the doors slid open. Fresh air flooded in, but Elena found herself missing the intensity of those trapped minutes. She stepped out first, her heels clicking sharply on the marble floor, mask of professionalism sliding back into place. Daniel followed, his expression unreadable, but his eyes still carrying the weight of what had just happened. As they parted ways in the lobby, Elena didn't turn back, but she knew, deep down, that a line had been crossed, and nothing between them would ever be the same. And for the first time in years, she realized she wasn't afraid of the elevator anymore.